I refuse to answer on the grounds it may tend to incriminate me.
At the instruction of C.E. Bradshaw, did you ever change and place a new number, serial 0888, on a Casanova pinball machine while you were employed by National Amusement Company?
I refuse to answer on the grounds that it may tend to incriminate me.
I know Bradshaw's reputation, and I also know Bradshaw has several ex-cons working for him. One of his former employees, whom I knew only as John, and who now works for Jimmy's Music Service in Longview, Texas, told me of one instance where Bradshaw's employees burglarized a place of business which had T.J. Jeffries machines in it. Bradshaw's employees took a cigarette machine, jukebox, and one other piece of equipment, which I think was a pinball machine. John stated that Bradshaw had him, John, alter and change the serial numbers on the jukebox, and that Bradshaw had a phony bill of sale drawn up. John said that nothing was changed on the cigarette machine and that Bradshaw set it up in his shop for his employees to buy cigarettes from. John said he thought the jukebox was put on location in Fibber McGee's Barbecued Grill. John was afraid that Bradshaw would kill him because of what he knew, so he quit his job and left town. I do not believe he has told anyone other than myself where he's going. Woodrow Dallas Rupert, subscribed and sworn to this first day of February 1968. William F. Alexander, Notary Public, Dallas, Texas.
In a couple of days, I got a phone call that told me that I was operating on Bobby Strickland's license, and as long as his license was there, then he had the contract to keep his vending machines in there. And I told him that I was going to use Bobby Strickland's license until I got license in the place. And he told me that...
Now you got a phone call. Who is this phone call from?
It's from Abe Sussman.
All right. Go ahead.
So he told me, he says, if you're going to use Bobby Strickland's beer license, you're going to use my vending machines. And if you don't, you're not going to operate. And that night, the Liquor Control Board come out, Mr. Burke, and took the beer license.
Would you say Mr. Sussman made good on his promise?
Yes, he did. Well, this happens, but most of the time it happens without the operator's knowledge. He may know that there's a girl hustling out of his place, but he's not receiving any money off of it, so he don't care. What she does is her own affair. But if she is a good prostitute and knows what she's doing, she has a book, and she's not going to cause you any trouble. She makes a good customer.
But the bars would be the place where the initial meeting
Sure.
occurs.
You wouldn't want to meet her on a corner downtown or something. Go to a lounge and have a drink.
All right, anything else about prostitution back in this period of time?
No, sir.
All right, there has been testimony about gambling. Tell us what you know about gambling insofar as your experience in these taverns are concerned.
Well, my experience, anywhere you find a vending machine, you're going to find gambling. Because they are going to match, and it don't sound like much, but they're going to match for the music. And you might be standing behind the bar just working for a man, and the person say, I'll flip you for the music. Well, that don't sound like much, but that's gambling in by squad eyes. And that will get your jukebox confiscated by the Dallas Police Department.
The budget of the Baylor Medical School is around $22 million a year. It was impossible for the convention to provide that much. Further than that, we have been requested to double the enrollment of the school, which would probably double the budget, and it was a financial impossibility for us to see that many dollars available for the Baylor Medical School.
I would say none at all, except that these disappointments serve to further encourage us to be even more intensive in our studies and in our background search for understanding what rejection is and how we might suppress the rejection response in various patients. Whenever we have a long list of patients who have come to our attention, been referred by their local physicians, for whom no further medical or surgical treatment is available, and when many of these people fail to survive, die within weeks because of the lack of a opportunity for transplantation, we know we're not on the wrong track.
Well, a lot of talent and writers would say that they are too rigid, but somebody has to make the decisions, and it is the broadcaster who has that basic responsibility, and not the talent, and not the authors, and not the producers.
Has there actually been a de-emphasizing of violence in our programming, or have we just heard a lot of talk about it?
I think we truly are getting a de-emphasis. I think you'll see more and more de-emphasis as we get into the programs that are more recently made. But this is a very difficult thing. We're really not talking about doing away with all violence. We're talking about a balance in the treatment of violence and doing away with violence for violence's sake alone.
In a business session of the convention today, one of the actions taken was to give the Baylor Medical School the liberty of running its own affairs. A board of directors will be elected by the Baylor University, and this board of directors will operate the Baylor Medical School, and it'll be free to receive funds from foundations or from any other source, including government funds, that might be available for operating the Baylor Medical